I wasn't born with that name. My given name was something different, something that tied me to my roots, my family, and my heritage. But the name I carry now, it was earned, forged in the fires of war alongside the elite warriors I served. It represents a transformation, a journey from the boy I was to the man I became. It was earned, forged in the fires of war alongside the elite warriors I served. Each battle, each mission, each moment of camaraderie with my fellow soldiers, it all contributed to the person I am today. The name is a badge of honor, a testament to the trials and tribulations I faced and overcame. I grew up in Baghdad, a city steeped in history but shrouded in uncertainty. The ancient streets, the bustling markets, the rich tapestry of cultures and traditions, all of it was overshadowed by the ever-present tension and fear. Baghdad was a place where the past and the present collided, where history was written in the stones and the stories of its people. Life under Saddam Hussein's regime was harsh, a constant lesson in vigilance. The oppressive atmosphere was palpable, a heavy weight that pressed down on everyone. We learned to be cautious, to watch our words and our actions, to navigate the treacherous waters of a dictatorship. It was a life of constant surveillance, where trust was a rare commodity and fear was a constant companion. Even as a boy, I understood the weight of silence, the danger of a misplaced word. The walls had ears, and a careless whisper could lead to dire consequences. I learned to listen more than I spoke, to observe and absorb the world around me. The hardships I faced as a child shaped my character, instilling in me a resilience and determination that would serve me well in the years to come. English, the language that would change my destiny, arrived through forbidden radio waves. It was a secret, a forbidden fruit that I eagerly consumed. The broadcasts were a lifeline, a connection to a world beyond the confines of my reality. They brought with them the promise of something more, something better. The BBC, Voice of America. These became my windows to a wider world. Through them, I glimpsed a reality that was vastly different from my own. They spoke of freedom, of opportunities, of a life that was not dictated by fear and oppression. They were a beacon of hope, a reminder that there was more to life than what I had known. I devoured every word, my dedication fueled by a thirst for knowledge and a yearning for freedom. I studied with a fervor, driven by the belief that education was my ticket to a better future. Each word, each lesson, was a step towards that dream. I immersed myself in the language, the culture, the ideas that were so different from my own. The words were more than sounds. They were a lifeline to a future I dared to dream of. They painted pictures in my mind, images of a life where I could be free, where I could make my own choices. They gave me hope, a precious commodity in a world that often seemed devoid of it.
Little did Johnny know, those late nights spent hunched over a crackling radio were laying the foundation for an extraordinary journey. Each broadcast, each word was a building block, a piece of the puzzle that would eventually form the picture of his future. The knowledge he gained, the dreams he nurtured, they were all part of a grand plan that was slowly unfolding. A journey that would take him from the bustling streets of Baghdad with its rich history and complex present to places he could scarcely imagine. The crowded markets, the ancient landmarks, the vibrant culture, all of it was a part of him, a part of his story. But it was only the beginning. To the unforgiving battlefields alongside the most elite warriors in the world, the Navy SEALs. It was a path fraught with challenges, with moments of doubt and fear, but also with triumphs and victories. The boy who listened to forbidden broadcasts became a man who fought for freedom, who stood shoulder to shoulder with the best of the best. His journey was a testament to the power of dreams, the strength of the human spirit, and the unyielding pursuit of a better future. Narrator. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more inspiring tales on the Veteran Warrior channel.
The fall of Saddam Hussein brought chaos and opportunity. The streets of Baghdad were filled with uncertainty, and the air was thick with tension. Amidst the ruins and the echoes of conflict, a new chapter was beginning for many, including myself. When the call went out for interpreters to aid the US-led coalition, it was a beacon of hope for those of us who wanted to make a difference. The need for skilled linguists was urgent, and the role was critical. It wasn't just about translating words, it was about bridging worlds. I saw a chance to use my skills for a greater purpose. I had always been passionate about languages, and this was my opportunity to contribute to something larger than myself. I donned the military uniform, ready to serve not just as a translator, but as a cultural ambassador. I wasn't just translating words, I was bridging cultures, creating understanding where there was none. In the midst of chaos, I found my calling. Every conversation, every interaction was a chance to build trust, to show that we were there to help, not to harm. Building trust in the midst of chaos was no easy feat. It required patience, empathy, and a deep understanding of the local culture. I became a mediator, a bridge between two worlds that often seemed irreconcilable. My role was to ensure that both sides could see each other's humanity. My fluency in English was impressive, but it was my deep understanding of Iraqi society that made me invaluable to the SEALs. I could navigate the complexities of language and culture, providing insights that were crucial for the success of our missions. I knew the nuances of the language, the idioms and expressions that could change the meaning of a sentence entirely. But more than that, I understood the unspoken rules, the cultural subtleties that could mean the difference between acceptance and aggression. I knew the nuances of the language, the idioms and expressions that could change the meaning of a sentence entirely. But more than that, I understood the unspoken rules, the cultural subtleties that could mean the difference between acceptance and aggression. The unspoken rules that could mean the difference between acceptance and aggression. I recognized the subtle shifts in body language, the flicker of fear in a villager's eyes that could betray a hidden threat. These were the signs that could save lives. I recognized the subtle shifts in body language, the flicker of fear in a villager's eyes that could betray a hidden threat. These were the signs that could save lives. My ability to read these cues made me an invaluable asset to the team. The flicker of fear in a villager's eyes that could betray a hidden threat. These were the signs that could save lives. My ability to read these cues made me an invaluable asset to the team. I was not just an interpreter, I was a protector, a guardian of my fellow soldiers.
We saw his worth, we saw his courage, his unwavering commitment to our mission. He wasn't just a translator, he was a vital part of our team. His insights and instincts were crucial in navigating the complexities of our operations. His unwavering commitment to our mission. He wasn't just an interpreter, he was one of us, a brother in arms. His dedication and bravery earned him a place in our ranks, and we trusted him with our lives. He wasn't just an interpreter, he was one of us, a brother in arms. His dedication and bravery earned him a place in our ranks, and we trusted him with our lives. He became a symbol of the bond that can form between people from different worlds, united by a common purpose. He was one of us, a brother in arms. His dedication and bravery earned him a place in our ranks, and we trusted him with our lives. He became a symbol of the bond that can form between people from different worlds, united by a common purpose. We were not just a team, we were a family.
Earning their trust was one thing. Earning their respect on the battlefield was another. Johnny was about to prove his mettle in the crucible of combat. The true test of his skills and courage was yet to come. Earning their respect on the battlefield was another. Johnny was about to prove his mettle in the crucible of combat. The true test of his skills and courage was yet to come. The battlefield would reveal the depth of his commitment and the strength of his character. Johnny was about to prove his mettle in the crucible of combat. The true test of his skills and courage was yet to come. The battlefield would reveal the depth of his commitment and the strength of his character. In the heat of battle, he would show that he was not just a translator, but a true warrior, a brother in arms. The battlefield is a chaotic symphony of noise and fury. Explosions echo through the air, and the ground trembles with the force of conflict. The cacophony of gunfire, the shouts of soldiers, and the cries of the wounded create a relentless, overwhelming soundscape. For Johnny, it was a world of dual existence. By day, he was a soldier clad in the same fatigues, carrying the same burdens as his comrades. But he was also an interpreter, a bridge between cultures, a conduit for communication in the most dire of circumstances. He was the calm amidst the storm, the voice of reason in a maelstrom of violence. His ability to remain composed under pressure was not just a skill, but a necessity. In the chaos of battle, his clear-headedness was a beacon of hope.
One moment I was translating the frantic pleas of civilians caught in a crossfire, their voices filled with fear and desperation. They looked to me not just for words, but for reassurance, for a promise of safety amidst the chaos. The next, I was relaying vital intelligence as bullets whizzed past my head. Each piece of information could alter the course of the battle, could save lives or prevent a disaster. The weight of responsibility was immense. There was no room for fear, no time for hesitation. Every word mattered. In those moments, clarity and precision were my greatest allies. Miscommunication could lead to fatal consequences, so I had to be perfect. Every translation could mean the difference between life and death. The stakes were always high, and the pressure was relentless. But it was in these high-stakes moments that I found my purpose, my reason for being there. I ran alongside SEALs, my weapon not a rifle but my words. My role was to ensure that every command, every piece of intelligence, was understood and acted upon. I was their voice in a foreign land, their link to the local populace. I faced ambushes, navigated minefields, and stared down the enemy with unwavering resolve. Each day brought new challenges, new dangers, but also new opportunities to make a difference, to be the lifeline my team needed.
His courage under fire earned him the respect and admiration of the SEALs. They saw in him not just a translator but a fellow warrior, someone who shared their risks and their mission. They knew they could trust him with their lives. In the heat of battle, trust is everything. It is the foundation upon which all military operations are built. And Johnny had earned that trust through his actions, his bravery, and his unwavering dedication. He was more than just an interpreter. He was their lifeline, their guide through the treacherous landscape of war-torn Iraq. His presence was a constant reminder that even in the darkest times, there is a light, a voice that can bridge divides and bring hope. War is more than just bullets and bombs. It's a clash of ideologies, a battle for hearts and minds. This is where Johnny's true value shone.
I was a cultural navigator, steering the SEALs through the complex web of Iraqi society. I could read a room in an instant, sensing danger where others saw only smiles.
He knew the tribal dynamics, the religious sensitivities, the ancient grudges that simmered beneath the surface. He could tell when a local was being truthful and when they were withholding information. His insights proved invaluable, preventing misunderstandings that could have had deadly consequences.
I understood that winning the peace was just as important as winning the war. My ability to connect with the locals to earn their trust made me an essential asset in the fight against insurgency.
He was a bridge between two worlds, a symbol of hope in a land ravaged by conflict. The true measure of a hero is not found in medals or accolades, but in the lives they touch and the difference they make. Johnny Walker's impact on the SEALs operations was profound, even if it often went unseen.
I was the silent operator, the unseen force multiplier that helped turn the tide of battle. My translations led to the capture of high-value targets. My cultural insights prevented civilian casualties and fostered goodwill with the local populace.
He was instrumental in building relationships with Iraqi allies, strengthening the coalition's efforts in the region. His contributions may have been subtle, but their effects were far-reaching.
I was a quiet professional, never seeking recognition for my actions. I was content to serve in the shadows, knowing that I was making a difference.